If I was to compare my practice now versus probably 2 years ago, I do not use my old school, what I call old school clinical hypnotherapy training. Every single thing that I do in my practice to date is all done through Neuro-Com. Neuro-Com is the most amazing program that I've ever seen. I guess it puts the client in their version of their world, and using the mind model, and also obviously the other aspects of Neuro-Com. Within that 2 hours, that client, compared to when they walked in to when they walk out, they're a totally different person. It changes the emotional memory on the spot. It's gone. So the client actually walks out after that 2 hours with a permanent change.
Mental and physical health around the world is getting worse every year, not only in numbers of ill people, but as a percentage of the whole population, and this is despite governments throwing more and more money into the system. Anxiety and depression levels are getting worse, anger is out of control, and serious mental illness is on the increase, and of course the development of physical illness is also increasing at similar rates. We have to start asking ourselves the question, why is this? Something is seriously wrong with the existing mental and physical health models. If you're watching this, then the chances are that you already recognize that something's wrong. Perhaps you're not getting the kind of results you would like for your clients, or perhaps you're not getting the results for yourself in your own life that you would like. Have you ever had a client that's come in and thrown down the gauntlet in front of you? About 25 years ago, I had a client do exactly that. Ken, and that's not his real name, came into my office very obviously upset, and he was at the end of his tether. And before he said anything else, he said to me, "I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I've made arrangements that if I don't leave here with some hope today, I'm going to kill myself this afternoon." Needless to say, that got my attention, but I had no choice and I had to create results there and then. You see, Ken was a Vietnam vet, and the story he told me would make your hair stand on end. It was the most horrific story of death and destruction, not only in his experience in Vietnam, but the psychological treatment and the aftermath of those events when he got home caused a lot of the problems. After 20 years of seeing all the traditional and alternative therapies he could, Ken still had major traumatic flashbacks almost on a daily basis. He'd lost his job, his wife, his kids and his friends, and still the nightmare continued. Well, 2 hours later he walked out with a smile on his face, a bit of hope in his heart, and he no longer could access the hell he'd been through for the last 20 years. Ken went on to live a happy life, and he created a wonderful new stable relationship, and he became very successful in his business and in a new career. But the results of that day led to the development of the clinical Neuro-Com process, based on a model of the mind that is very different from traditional models, a model which works and creates rapport with virtually everybody that's exposed to it. In other words, when people are exposed to the Neuro-Com mind model, their unconscious mind is sitting there saying, yep, that's how it works. So it's a very powerful tool. Look, I'm Gary Johnston, and I've studied the mind for over 50 years now. I've worked as a clinical psychotherapist for over 35 years, specializing primarily in anxiety disorders and especially trauma, including PTSD. I've worked with hundreds of trauma clients. And I've found that what works for them works pretty well for anyone who needs to modify thoughts, emotions, or behaviors. And the results don't take months or years to create. Holistic psychotherapy is not new. The idea of the mind and the body being vitally connected has been around for a long, long time. Although certain traditional models have a real problem coming to grips with such an idea. But there are two vital pieces in the mental health puzzle that seem to have escaped a lot of people in mental health. The first is that every mind is different. It's unique in its content, its motivations and behaviors. Now, that shouldn't be a surprise to most people because everybody has a different background. They have a different family, different education. But for some reason, traditional models haven't picked that idea up. In order to make change, it's absolutely critical that you understand and communicate in a language specific to each individual mind. The model of the mind we use in Neuro-Com does exactly that. We communicate directly with the unconscious programs of the individual, and we do that in the midst of usually a normal conversation, a conscious concept of conversation. The key here is that no unconscious program will continue to do what it's been doing, sometimes already for a lifetime, when it understands that what it's been doing is actually harming its host. Let me ask you a question. How long did it take you to learn not to put your hand on a hot stove? That's right, it was instant. And that's how long it takes the unconscious mind to learn new strategies once it understands that what it's now doing is not actually helping. It doesn't take weeks, it doesn't take months, and certainly not years. It just takes minutes or seconds. You know, Ken's 20 years of therapeutic hell was resolved quickly because of the way I communicated directly with the many memory groups that were creating his psychosis in the first place. His mind actually thought it was protecting him, but very quickly realized that it wasn't, so it dropped the behavior, and it did it instantly when it recognized that trait. The second key to creating lasting permanent results is to deal with the toxic environment we create in our bodies. When you learn the clinical Neuro-Com process, you'll also get to understand the role that 3 specific major food groups have in the development of almost all mental illnesses and anxiety disorders. And these toxic foods and their environments that they create destroy our ability, or the ability of our nervous system, to function properly. And they often make psychotherapeutic effect impossible. The frightening thing is that these food groups are the staples of our modern diet. So a clear understanding of psychonutrition and what the underlying physiology and biochemistry is doing to the nervous system is essential in dealing with mental health issues. You can't really deal at a psychotherapeutic process unless you've actually taken care of some of those aspects. To produce the best result for your client, you must deal with both of these components, both the psychotherapeutic and the physiological stroke biochemical aspects of it. The Neuro-Com practitioner program will change the way you view mental health and physical health. You will find out exactly how your mind processes information and the critical emotional memory pathways that drive our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors. You'll find out how these pathways drive the direction we take in life, our relationships, and how we handle day-to-day stressors in different environments. You'll learn the complexities of anxiety disorders and the essential pathways back to normal mental health. You will learn exactly, step by step, how to totally reprogram an unconscious mind, changing memory content, changing emotional reactions to any environmental situation, and create a totally new, custom-designed future program that your unconscious mind will actually go and create. Now, why is that important? Well, if you are changing memory groups and you're taking emotional content out of somebody's life that maybe they've been suffering with for decades, it's become a major part of their identity. You must know how to reprogram a different future for their unconscious mind to actually go forward. Neuro-Com is no ordinary clinical process. The Neuro-Com program is all-encompassing and deals with the underlying nervous system dysfunction as well as the presenting emotional thought dysfunctions that most psychotherapeutic methods endeavour but often fail to address. we're looking for suitably qualified practitioners worldwide to develop the growing network of professional, highly professional, and well-trained Neuro-Com practitioners. I'm going to assume you are wanting to create the best outcomes for your clients, whether they be clinical or coaching clients, and I'd love to teach you the spectacular processes behind the Neuro-Com program. But I've been in this profession a long time, and I know that not everybody is in the profession for the right reasons or with useful experience. The incredible change potential in Neuro-Com is such that we can't afford just to let it loose on anybody. So I do place restrictions on who I train. You'll need to have at least a diploma in a relevant field with at least 3 years clinical experience or coaching experience in the field. You'll need to be a member of an approved professional association, and you'll need to adhere to its code of ethics and practice. And you'll need to prove to us that you have the emotional intelligence required to create rapport with the unconscious mind of your clients and to be able to communicate with them, and with only your clients' welfare in mind. If you really care about your clients and the results they achieve, to change their lives for the better, and to enhance the success rate in the mental health and physical health well-being fields and professions, connect with us through the website or through the link that is attached to this video and find out the full details of the training and where and when the next courses are being held. If you're an executive coach, a life coach, or organizational consultant or manager, ask about our Neuro-Com corporate congruency program. And that program provides staggering Neuro-Com based tools to transform and engage entire organizations. It's time for a new mental health paradigm in all parts of the world. If you fit the requirements, we would love to talk to you. Go to the Neuro-Com website now and open the discussion with us so that we can work out how we best can help you help your clients. Thanks for watching.
My name's Suzanne. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and recently heard Gary speaking at a conference regarding his Neuro-Com processes, and the whole thing just interested me so much. I'm interested in working with people that go through extreme trauma, post-traumatic stress and so forth, and with the qualifications that I have as a clinical hypnotherapist, I just felt that I needed that extra just to be able to help those people all the way through their processes, and the Neuro-Com model has absolutely provided that for me. It's amazing the processes that you learn how the mind works, it simplifies it, and I've been working with people already with this stuff and it's just blowing them out of the water. I thoroughly recommend, if you're interested in this course, definitely do it. It's been an amazing process, and I'm still on this journey, and I'm just wanting to know more and more and more about it, so give it a go, it's worth it. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Nancy Taylor. I'm an executive coach, facilitator, and a business consultant. And I first became interested in Neuro-Com about 6 months ago when I was experiencing my own problems with anxiety around some of the work that I do. That came as a surprise to me, given I'd been successful in my field for the last 30 years. So Neuro-Com's made a big difference in terms of how I experience my own work, and I've begun to incorporate it into the work with my clients. So as an executive coach, one of the things I notice for many clients is they're dealing with the imposter syndrome, or that sense of anxiety about what they've achieved in life. And I'm finding that Neuro-Com's made a big difference to helping people not only manage their own anxieties about success or lack of success, but also understand their mind in a more profound way, which makes a big difference to the kind of results that they can produce.
Like I said, there is nothing else that I use in my practice now. It's the most powerful tool I have, and I would highly recommend anybody to actually have this as a part of their modality, and there is nothing else that you will use.